and a very warm welcome to the Skin Series by AlumierMD. My name is Victoria, I'm your host, and this is a particularly interesting one today because we're talking all things IPL and laser with Dr Benji Dhillon. Benji, thank you so much for coming in and joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So I can't wait for people to hear all about your expertise in this really fascinating and trending topic. Yep. Laser mixing is huge at the moment, and you and I have been working together for a few years now, and more recently in the sort of latter part of last year, we ran a really interesting clinical study that combined AlumierMD with IPL and laser.
Yep.
So we'll get stuck into that, and I can't wait to share with everybody what we've been up to.
I'm excited.
Let's start with the basics. IPL, laser, what does it mean? How do you talk to your patients about it and explain the difference?
I mean, as you mentioned, Victoria, it's a trending topic, but as you know, having been in this industry for a while and understanding skin, these treatments have been around for a very, very long time. And I'd say it's probably only the last couple of years where more and more people are almost accepting that this could be an option for them. I think what they can do is have a profound impact on skin alongside great skincare. And I'd say the word laser is a very generic term, and often, mistakenly, people use it to describe lots of different, what we call modalities. And the best way to break it down is you have laser, proper laser, which can either be ablative or non-ablative. So ablative means where it may take off a bit of the skin to help it heal into a better form of skin, or non-ablative where it's not doing that and it's sending almost like energy deeper down into the skin to create some sort of repair or controlled repair. And then you've got IPL. Now, IPL is actually probably one of my favorite treatments. It stands for intense pulse light. And this is where it doesn't use laser or light in the same way, but use almost broadband light, the light that we see, and it focuses it down to target different things in the skin. And it can give beautiful results like shinier skin, brighter skin. It can target pigmentation, it can target redness, as can some lasers. But it can be used either alone or in conjunction with lasers. So we have such a wide variety of options that we can use for all kinds of skin type.
So I think maybe IPL, laser, maybe all gets branded with the same brush, right? But the treatments are quite different. And they can be tailored, can't they? So to either be sort of quite mild or aggressive. To help tidy up for our audience, which are the lighter and which are the sort of more heavy-hitting treatments?
So it's a bit like skincare. You can, like retinols, I think one of our favorite ingredients, and you can have good quality retinols and bad quality retinols. You can have weak retinols and strong retinols. The same is with lasers and IPLs. Right. So you can use the same type of laser or IPL in a very weak setting for someone's skin type. Yeah. Or you can dial it up or tune it up, as I like to say, for someone a different type of skin. And it also comes down to what you're trying to achieve. Mm-hmm. So there are people with great skin already who've been looking after it with great skincare like AlumierMD, where you actually don't need to go to too high a setting, and you can dial it down just to refresh the skin. But then there are some people that maybe haven't looked after the skin. They've got significant sun damage, they've got open pores, where maybe you need to dial it up. So it is really customizable, and we can use the same lasers or same IPLs, but in many different ways.
Yeah, right. One of the things that I love about IPL and laser is the concept of a chromophore. Yep. So talk to us a little bit more about that.
So everything has to have a target. And again, I'll use skincare as the analogy. When we are trying to achieve or an improvement in open pores, we are going to reach for salicylic acid as an option. Mm-hmm. And we know that that's our target. It's the same thing with lasers and IPL, particularly lasers. When we fire the laser at the skin, it's based on a certain wavelength of light. That wavelength of light is specific to a chromophore, which is a target in the skin. So to give you an example, we use some lasers to target blood vessels. Their wavelength is specific to the red of the blood vessel. So the chromophore is the red. There may be sun damage or sunspots. We may use a different laser of a different wavelength that is specific to that chromophore. And it's the same thing with IPL, or BBL is my chosen type of IPL, where our chromophore, our target, is determined by what we're trying to treat in the skin.
Yeah, right. And I guess if anybody was at home and needed an analogy of how this happened, as in the light is directed towards the target, the colour in the target absorbs the light and generates heat. Yeah. It's like wearing a dark jumper on a sunny day, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So what your goal of most treatments is to try and start off a process of controlled inflammation. Yeah. And that controlled inflammation, and we do this with microneedling, with chemical peels, and also with lasers and IPL, but we're using a different modality, which you're right, is heat. But that heat can be or laser can be very specific to that chromophore rather than treating lots of different areas of skin. Starts off a controlled inflammatory process in that target, which leads to a healing of that target, which leads to the improvement, which we want to see.
Yeah, and like most things, more controlled injury, more downtime, better, longer lasting results. Yeah, amazing. Okay, so let's say then somebody walks into your clinic and you think, oh, this person needs IPL laser stat. What would their skin look like?
Most often, I guess there's a variety of different types of people that could walk in that we may think of that. So there is, let's take for example the individual where their skin is just dull, it's dehydrated, it needs a bit of love and TLC, and they can often really benefit from something like a gentle laser or an IPL. Then you've got people who walk in with scarring on their skin, maybe from acne, maybe old chickenpox scars, often acne, and they could also benefit from a laser treatment. But then you've got people who walk in, probably the third group, which are really interesting, are those that have been looking after their skin for a long time. They've got great skin, but they want to go to that next level. They want to go for that glossy effect. And that's where lasers or IPL can also play a role. So, but there are the people that maybe haven't looked after their skin for some time that I think can be often the most challenging because the skin hasn't been prepared, hasn't been cared for over or nurtured over years. And so you have to start off a little bit gentle. Although you want to go aggressive because you want to get these beautiful results, you've actually got to take your time with that type of skin and build them up to get to that level of great outcomes with lasers.
So let's dive into that a little bit more then. How could somebody turn up to their laser appointment, meaning that you can take the gloves off, roll your sleeves up and have a bit of fun with the device? What steps could they take in the lead up to their appointment?
So preparing your skin in advance of a laser or any type of treatment for that matter, but particularly for lasers and IPL, is absolutely imperative because you want to get the best results, and we want people to get the best results. And the analogy I'd give is like going to the dentist.
Okay.
We would all love to walk into a dentist maybe twice a year and they get everything done and we don't have to think about anything in between, but we do. We have to brush our teeth twice a day, we have to floss our teeth, you know, we may use mouthwashes and we look after our teeth. But if we turned up to the dentist wanting everything done with the most minimal time and get the best results, they're going to turn us away. And it's the same thing with skin. So I say to everyone, if you are keen on going on a skin rejuvenation program, they have to do the heavy lifting at home, which is prepare their skin in advance. And it could be with a range of ingredients from the AlumierMD range. Probably one of my favorite ones is the Prep and Enhance kit. If they go on a program of the Prep and Enhance protocol for maybe about even 3 to 4 weeks in advance of their treatment, they walk in, they are going to get better results. You know, Victoria, I think one of the most important things is it's an investment of time and money on their behalf. So spending a little bit more time and money to get a better result means that they get a better return on their investment.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. And there's so many good, you know me, I love to talk and think in analogies. And back in the day when I was a clinical educator, I used to say in my classes, you know, I was teaching aesthetic doctors about skincare and stuff, and I would say, right, which would you give up, your dentist or your toothbrush? And everyone would be like, dentist, no toothbrush, no dentist. And then they really thought about it, and it would have to be the dentist that would go, because if you don't brush your teeth every single day, that's, you know, what keeps the health ticking over nicely.
I mean, I'll give a personal story on my behalf. Is I religiously, and you can ask my wife and kids, I religiously I use skincare every day.
You can tell.
And I don't do any treatments. I wish I did do treatments, but yet having all this at my disposal, we're often too busy in our daily lives.
Like bakers with no bread.
Yeah, precisely, or like a builder of the house, they never build their own house. And I don't get the opportunity, I wish I did, but if I didn't look after my skin at home, and just doing the simple things like cleansing, using the right active ingredients at the right time, and also the right time of the year, if I didn't, my skin would be in a lot worse condition than it is now. And that's what I say to everyone. If you are going to go ahead with treatments, invest that. It doesn't have to be a huge amount of time. It could be done whilst you're brushing your teeth or while you're in the shower. You will get better results from your skin, but you'll get better results from your treatments like laser and IPL, without doubt.
Like turning out to the marathon having done 6 months worth of prep.
Correct.
You're just going to smash it, your recovery time is going to be better.
Yeah.
So we know that Prep and Enhance is one of your favourites. Talk to our viewers about some of the ingredients in Prep and Enhance.
So, you know, it goes back to what are the right active ingredients that you should use on your skin day in, day out. And I always say there's probably a holy trinity, or maybe there's a 4 that you need to use. Number 1 is you need to be using a vitamin C or L-ascorbic acid. It is an antioxidant, and the best way to describe that is the blueberries for your skin. It's going to go into your skin, and it's going to destroy the free radicals which we accumulate on a daily basis. Even if we lock ourselves in a dark room, we're still going to have free radicals banging around our skin doing damage. So the vitamin C is imperative for us to use without fail. Number 2 is retinols. Now, retinol truly is one of my holy trinities of skincare because, again, a huge variety in strengths and options, but as a core ingredient, it really rejuvenates your skin. I think it has probably the most amount of evidence in skincare of all products as to its positive impact on skin quality and anti-aging effects. So we know through the evidence, I know personally that this is a product people cannot do without. And I think in that, people worry about retinol. They don't have to worry about retinol because if it's done in a controlled way, like in the Prep Enhance kit, there isn't much to worry about. And then the final thing is sunscreen. Sunscreen, I say to my children, particularly my daughters, there's one ingredient they should use in their teenage years, 100%. It's sunscreen. There's nothing else. They don't need to be using anything else now because that is absolutely imperative. So the Prep and Enhance kit delivers this in one easy to use package that you can use ideally 3 to 4 weeks in advance, if longer, even better. And it gets your skin ready. The vitamin C will be tidying up all those free radicals, reducing down inflammation of the skin, number 1, because we want healthy skin to treat with a laser or IPL. The retinol is restoring and improving the skin quality, effectively improving the health of the skin at the surface. And the sunscreen is reducing down any damage you're going to do in advance, but importantly, after treatment, you've got to keep using that sunscreen. So it's not the Prep and Enhance kit isn't something I'd say you just have to use in advance. You can keep on using these ingredients because they are incredible.
Do you know, and we named it with that in mind, Prep and Enhance. Yeah, bingo. That's amazing. And so we used Prep and Enhance as part of the study. We got some amazing results. We also combined IPL and laser with chemical peel in a treatment plan. Now that possibly will be done depending on the device that the clinic has in clinic on the same day and depending on the skin tone of the patient. Others it might be done on different visits. But why did we do this? What do you believe are the benefits of combining chemical peels with IPL and laser within a treatment plan?
What we often see is people don't necessarily want to invest. I go back to investing time and money to a degree in getting the right or the best results. So they often see as, we're impatient people nowadays and we believe we can come in as a magic bullet. So I was really keen to do this study with yourself because I wanted to help prove that if you prepare your skin with the right ingredients and right products and right steps before, you are going to get better results. So what we did is we used the Prep and Enhance kit pre and post, but we also combined it with a chemical peel pre-treatment, and the treatments that we used as part of the study were either the BBL or the Moxie laser, both some of my favorite devices. The chemical peel for me was probably one of the most important elements because what we're doing with that, and it's a light chemical peel. People think of chemical peels and think of something really aggressive, which this isn't. It's very light. It's to effectively exfoliate the dead surface of the skin because our skin has a dead layer. The longer we leave that dead layer on, the unhealthier our skin gets. So treating it in an appropriate way helps almost expose the healthy skin, which we want to target. So with the chemical peel, we effectively exfoliated the skin gently and subtly, and then went straight onto the IPL and laser. And what I found really interesting is when we did the chemical peel pre-treatment, it didn't lead to any increased sensitivity. There weren't people complaining of more pain. We saw none of that. We actually, as a result of the Prep and Enhance and the chemical peel, combined with the laser and the IPL, saw better results. And our results of the study, which we're happy to share with people, demonstrate improved radiance, improved skin texture. We measured a lot of these on the Visia, and it almost tells you a story of why don't you do all these things in advance of treatment?
That's it. Because like you said, it's such a simple bolt-on, and it's like if you are gonna, pay for the investment, just that little bit extra will make sure that you get all the bang for your buck. So, I mean, some of the results that we saw, you've mentioned radiance, glow. We also saw a 680% improvement in skin redness.
And that's skin redness, again, you'd think on the face of it, you're doing a chemical peel and then moving on to a BBL or Moxie or laser IPL. How does that work on redness? And we know we're taking down inflammation pre-treatment and then targeting more information with the laser. So the two go hand in hand.
Yeah, right. We also saw in one patient a 4.5 or a 450% improvement, and in another patient a 3.5 or a 350% improvement in brown spots.
I mean, it's just, the results speak for themselves. Again, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier on, is the signs of aging or the signs of sun damage or the signs of our lifestyle sit on our skin on a day-to-day basis. And if we look after and nurture our skin, we can bring a lot of these down and improve the results. And I know for a fact, I don't believe we would have seen those results without that level of result, without the prep and enhancer, without the chemical peel, and just using the beautiful treatments, the Moxie and BBL, but we definitely saw an improvement because of what we did pre-treatment.
Yeah, right. And you do, you're a master injector as well. So I guess there's a treatment plan out there to be had that does combine facial contouring with injectables, skin resurfacing with the laser, and chemical peels. I mean, is there any end to how many treatments you can pile into a treatment plan if the patient needs it?
No, not at all. I think, treatment planning is actually a passion of mine. I really enjoy doing this with people because you've got to understand what they want. Budget expectations are really important, their lifestyle. And I think when it comes to skin, like injectables is very interesting because there's got to be a point at which we stop so we get nice natural results. Yeah. But with skin, that isn't the case. You can keep going. And I say to people that you've got to, if you're going to invest in, say, a skin program which involves the prep and enhance, the chemical peel and the Moxie BBL, that isn't it. That's the start of your journey. So I'd say to people, understanding their budget, saying maybe you don't do everything every month, you do it every 3 months or every 6 months, and you maybe do an intervention, whether it's a BBL, a Moxie, microneedling, but you maintain your skincare during that. And the other important thing, and we spoke about this a while ago when we talked about the skin microbiome, is how your skin changes through the seasons. Yes. So I learned a lot from you when we did that piece. And we say you've got to have seasonal skincare reviews. So absolutely. We put in reminders every 3 months. Just because you're on one regime for the winter doesn't mean it's the same for the summer. So that regularity of skin nurturing, yeah. And we call ourselves skin partners. So we are your skin partner through your journey, because they may get to a point where their skin's getting a bit irritated, and maybe because it is the summer and it's not the winter, that's telling us we have to change what we're doing.
So we, in the wider skincare industry, see a lot of high street brands that I guess advertise that they target one specific skin condition, but actually skin condition shouldn't really linger that long if you're using the right skincare. So if you've had a patient that's been on a regime, say, to target breakouts, eventually they're going to want to move off of that because the breakouts will be no more, and then they might want to target something else. So skincare needs to change as you hit your goals.
Correct. You have to adapt it, again, through the seasons, but also based on the skin type. I mean, we've seen patients, my team, where they have come in and their skin is dull, it is lackluster, it is dehydrated, and you have to tailor make a regime or treatments for that skin type. Yeah. But if you're not doing your job right, you're going to keep them on the same product or same regime. But if you're doing your job right, you're going to see a change maybe 2, 3, 4 months later, and then what you wanted to treat to begin with has changed. So it's the same thing with like like heart disease. You're going to try and improve something, or cholesterol, but then it doesn't mean you just continue focus on that. You've got to focus on other things as you go along the journey.
And it's holistic. You've got to look at it from all angles.
Exactly.
So you and I talk all the time about how the AlumierMD products we consider them hard-working hybrids because they each contain multiple active ingredients that do a single thing. Like you mentioned, our retinol, that's also got niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, antioxidants, it's got a rejuvenating peptide. So we don't often encourage very long skincare routines because actually you can get quite a lot out of a 3 or 4 product routine like the Prep and Enhance. But what other, either skincare or lifestyle tips would you give somebody ahead of a laser treatment? I know aqua infusion mask is maybe quite well suited.
Yeah, I think one of the key things, if we talk about most of the lasers that we use, non-ablative lasers that work on skin textural improvements, our chromophore, which we spoke about earlier on, was water. So we want as much water in the skin as possible to get the best outcome from that laser. And that's actually probably one of the most common laser-based treatments is people just want their skin to glow. Yeah. And therefore you have to target water as the chromophore. If we can do anything to improve the water content of the skin, we're going to get better results. And that is definitely where aqua infusion masks come in. If you can use those 3 times a week in advance, even on the week before treatment, you could use it up to the night before. I mean, if you could use it for longer, you're going to get better results. Healthier, hydrated skin, you're going to get better outcomes as a result of that. So I think that's number 1. Number 2 is, we talked about reducing inflammation. We talked about, vitamin C. We talked about retinol as well. But the other really simple thing is just good cleansing. And particularly you've got options like the clarifying cleanser. Those cleansers can not only, for oily type skins, wash out the oil with salicylic acids, etc., but they will enhance the skin quality ready for treatment.
Yeah, and that's amazing. And it's so good because having always had a passion for skincare myself, it's really amazing to, what I think is genuinely the first time in the industry, people aren't going, skincare is separate to treatments, but actually they are equally as important as. And who would have thought once upon a time that a hydrating face mask could dramatically impact the outcome from a medical laser device treatment? And I love that skincare's now getting that time.
That recognition.
Yeah, exactly.
It is for far too long. I always say to people, you get a lot of nervous patients coming in that it's intimidating walking into an aesthetic clinic or a med spa, and they often just associate us with things like anti-wrinkle injections or fillers. They may know about lasers, or they may not have the budget for treatment. I say, if there's one thing you can do, forget the injectables, forget the laser now, just go for skincare. Start your journey, and if you're happy after that, brilliant, we've achieved what you wanted to. But if not, we can then see what we do moving forward. But the foundation has to be skincare.
Benji, thank you so much for sharing all of your expertise on this fascinating topic. It was so fun to do the clinical study with you, and I can't wait to see the comments and responses to this, because it's been wonderful to talk to you.
As always, great working with you.
If you're curious about combining IPL or laser with chemical peels or medical grade skincare, do not hesitate for a second to reach out to any of our AlumierMD professionals around the world. They will be able to help you build a complete routine that looks at your overall skin health and wellness, identify your skin type, and build the perfect treatment plan for you that combines treatments and home care at home and chemical peels and laser or IPL in clinic to help you unlock your skin's potential.